Well. Miami Dolphins got a steaming pile of you-know-what in your stocking this year, and it sucks. It was ugly. It looked so good, and then got weird, and then just went to total implosion, disaster in the second half. Turn 51 tomorrow. I was hoping to celebrate a win and having a podcast that isn't convoluted and got to go all over the place. But I forgot I'm a Dolphins fan. So let's dig into this ugly situation that is so bad for so many reasons. Now, I know everyone's going to focus on 3 interceptions, and you got to. There's no way you can't. You can't have 3 drives in the critical game and throw 3 picks. Now, each one has a different little thing to it. We'll get into that, but that's where you got to start. But really, this weird ending had a lot of underpinning underneath it. I'm not going to get into all now because it's sore. It's ugly, but here we are. 8-7, 4 losses in a row, on the road to New England, at home to the Jets. I'd said at the beginning of the year that this New England game was going to be super, super critical. And I kind of changed that to the Jets game, but it's back to this New England game. I just cannot believe this. This is atrocious. So I'm going to try to find some stuff that's maybe not so disastrous, but I got to cover it the way it is. And this is like a telling blow. It's not over. We got to win the last 2 and we can get in. But there's some real funk going on here. And you could definitely say Tua, but if you just stick on that, I think you're missing the whole picture. So, Merry Christmas. It's a game, guys. We've been doing this masochistic abuse thing for quite some time. So let's just focus on the beauty of life and being around family and a Christmas spirit. So Merry Christmas to you. I really mean that. Thank you for stopping by. I just want to give you a shout out and Ace Per Head, my sponsor, shout out. Because without the 2 of you, I don't get to come up here and get beat like I went to the woodshed for my Dolphins week after week. I love it though, guys. I must be one of those guys who likes to get abused. But thank you for stopping by. Ace Per Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. Really, there's a lot of suck to get through. I mean, a lot of suck. I knew this was going to come down to the last drive thing. I said that. I also said, the Sting Blitz was something we had to worry about. I also said that we had to worry about turnovers, that this secondary is really good, and I also said we have to run especially inside zone. And a lot of that stuff played out. I did not think, though, that Tua would throw 3 picks. And the first one, because I got to go, there's all the stuff. I'll get to it. If you don't really feel that underpinning before this, then, I'll help you understand it. But you got to stick on this one first. Kid was playing a great game. There was unbelievable throws there. I mean, throughout the first half, this guy was playing unbelievable. Second half, it was the exact opposite. Now, that first pick he threw after the pick from Kohu, that was just a bad throw. And after that happened, I said, that really sucks. But when you play like this kid does, and he had a couple of big throws where it was in tight coverage and he made hay. So you're allowed to have your 1 pick when you're in a game like this and you're throwing a football. Second one, though, the no-look and Mostert clearly running a fly. He throws his hands up. I don't know what was called. I don't like the throw. I don't know what his route, if it's a comeback or an in. It was a timing pass, and the timing was off by someone. You're going to lay it on to it, and you probably have to because I don't know what the route is. We'll hear about that. But Mostert clearly was involved, and that was disaster. But we had the ability, after an ugly drive by the Packers, but a great stop with VG on the outside and that one nice tackle Going to miss him. And then Phillips coming in on that option where he got the hand, because that would have been a touchdown too. So we had the chance, no timeouts, like a minute and 56 seconds left. We come out with the pass, stop, clock's running, and the very next play I think it was the pick. And what happened was, I guess it was Hill who was being covered, and a guy just dropped off to Gesicki. I think he had made an unbelievable read. But even still, if you look at that pass, it was kind of behind Gesicki. So even though it's a great play by the corner, he had to hit Hill underneath. And if you want to go to Gesicki on the other side, you got to put that out in front and out to the edge. It was a poor pass by Tua. And so I'm going to give him full on the first, but I can understand. Second one, something's wrong. Something really was wrong. Something's in the workings of this offense, and that includes the callers, the staff, everything. Something wasn't going right, but Tua's got to be the front man for that, with Mostert somewhere underneath. But that last interception, really, that's almost inexcusable because there was nothing really correct on it. Great play in between the sandwich of, hit Hill underneath or hit Gesicki over the top, but it was a poor pass play and excellent coverage. Tua lost the game. Tua got us into a situation where we should have not even been in this situation, but we were in this situation, and he's the leader along with McDaniel, and he's got to take the first ownership, and it's crippling. It's crippling. I like the kid. If you can go look from a technical aspect, you see there was some amazing throws. Talk about no arm, he got to 55. But you're the quarterback of the team. You've got to control the situation. You cannot throw those picks. And this could be a death blow to the season. And depending on how he handles it, it could really cripple this kid and his time here in Miami. I hope not, because there's so much to like. And, when you peel back the layers of how we got here, who the hell kicks a squib kick after you score a touchdown? Who's not running the football at 4.6 yards per carry and then starts running weird calls? Like, you've got the strong side guys of Shell, Hunt, Connor, and Jones. And then you start running these weird mixed blocks and you start running towards Armstead. Armstead had a great block inside on one play, but the strength of your inside zone is to the right. I don't remember if I saw too many eye leads or real just 12 or 21 personnel. And I think we saw, 12 personnel, but not 21. I thought we just saw 21 with inside zone running between Connor, Hunt, and Shell with Smythe as the tackle, or maybe a weak side with Smythe on the other side. I didn't see enough of that. We started open with that and got a lot of nice runs, but didn't go back to that. But that squib kick really felt like, what the heck is going on? And I'm not going to blame McDaniel. I think McDaniel understood, and again, kind of to refrain on the past couple weeks, he did grow as a caller, and he implemented some of the things that were pretty obvious. I don't think he stuck with it as much. You sort of 4th and 1, we ran it, and you got to pick that up. It's what we should have done a couple times previously. We should have ran more in the Charger game. We should have ran more in the San Francisco game. That's the past, and you're seeing a progression, slow progression, not a full development, because within the game itself, there still seems like a pass-heavy pressure, pushing forward type mentality that isn't really effective. I think we were like 11.6 yards per catch. Like 25 at one point. It was ridiculous. So we were still going vertical, but we were running football. I still think we could tool on it. So the good side is McDaniel definitely grew a little bit, not as much. Squib kick was totally insane. Way too much penalties, just penalties, lots and lots of penalties, sloppy penalties. And then on a side note, these refs suck. I mean, Hill on the first play where it was 3rd and 3, which we probably should have ran, he was clearly held. Pass interfered, it appeared to me. Little dubious, maybe. It wasn't called. But then, as I said, you got to be fair on both sides. There were like 2 obvious pass interference calls on that the Packers got from our corners. There was one to Kohu deep late in the third quarter, and there's one in the second quarter where the guy just like before the ball even gets there, and it's not even called. I'm glad they didn't call on Kohu with the pass interference for the interception because that was a short ball, and it was a little bit, but I can see that. But there's just really erratic stuff in this PI thing. These refs kind of suck. I know I went off a little over there, but I hate these refs, and I was really disappointed in this game. A lot of good stuff, man. Waddle and Hill. That one to Waddle for the big, 60-yard touchdown where he got the sting blitz, got the sting blitz, and he went in the air and he delivered it. That came about because they were buying our run play action legitimately, and those linebackers crept up and it opened that space. Or Tua would have been sacked right there. So there was a lot of good stuff, and we were on the verge of having a good Christmas. And me, a normal podcast where I could just cover a team and not be like, got to do quantum physics analyzation to try to figure out what the heck went wrong. 8-7, 2 games left. And, honestly, last year, whatever you think, what the deal was, we had less talent. We had Tua. We won 9 games. So the best we could do right now is get to 10. And that's not good enough unless somehow we creep into that postseason and make hay. And I'm hoping for that. Everybody, if you haven't been here before, I like Flores. Don't think he was the best guy in the universe, but I liked him. And I think Greer and Ross did some crazy stuff in the background. But Flores isn't here anymore. I want Greer to do well. I want McDaniel to do well. I want Tua to do well. I want to do well. I want to come up here and have good news. I want to cover a game in a normal fashion, not in some phantasmagoric existence of being the weirdest football franchise in the NFL. I wouldn't like to know what it's like to cover a normal team. Anyway, we still can get in. We should have had this game. We could have had the Bills game. We should have won the Charger game if we had run the football. That San Fran game probably would have lost no matter what, but could have made it closer if we'd run the football. This is a disaster, and there's a lot of stuff behind it, but Tua's got to go up in front and center. There's no way around it. A lot of things behind him, guys. I'm sorry to have to deliver this. I'm sorry you have to go through this, Fin fans, but we got to win this week. We got to go up to New England and beat them and come back and beat the Jets. That's a tall order. If we win 9, go 9-8, and don't make the playoffs, it's terrible. If we go 9-8, to me, I said we would go 9 to 11 wins, and somehow we make the playoffs and win one playoff game, I think it pulls the fat out of the fire. But if we go 8 and 9 and don't make the playoffs, that means somebody else took second in the division. This is the worst case scenario, and it's a disaster of epic proportions. But it's not there. Not yet. Who knows? So many good things to talk about today. It could have been just the ridiculousness. The Packers gave it to us with the 4th and 2, going for it, the punt, the botched fake punt. It was unbelievable. I feel like my drink's been spiked and I'm high on acid or whatever that stuff. Whatever, because this is just not normal. It's a rant. I'm not going to go on too much more. I'm sorry. We have our opportunity. It ain't over. It is dark. Darkest before the dawn. New England coming up. We're going to have to win. There's going to be a tough week. Tough week. Quick coverage. Tomorrow's my birthday, as I said. I'm not going to be around tomorrow. I'll be back on Tuesday. Try to get to you. I'm going to have to, recover. Thank you for stopping by. Always appreciated. let's pray to the football gods we get some magic. Kerr saying, catch you next time. Be well. Go Fins. Building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.